Canada, long known as a haven for immigrants, has made a dramatic policy shift. This change has sent ripples through communities and sparked conversations nationwide. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced a major reduction in immigration targets, a move that has surprised many. The goal of welcoming 500,000 newcomers annually has been slashed to 395,000 by 2025, a significant cut. This number will further decrease to 365,000 by 2027, marking a steady decline over the next few years. This decision marks a stark departure from Canada's previous embrace of mass immigration, a policy that has shaped the nation for decades. For decades, Canada has prided itself on its open-door policy, welcoming people from all corners of the globe. Immigration has been crucial for driving economic growth, bolstering a shrinking workforce, and enriching the cultural fabric of the country. The recent announcement signals a significant change in direction, one that has left many wondering about the future. The government now argues that a pause is necessary to reassess and recalibrate. They aim to address the pressing issues caused by rapid population growth, such as overburdened infrastructure and services. The decision has ignited fierce debate across the nation, with strong opinions on both sides. Supporters of the move cite the strain on housing and healthcare, arguing that a slowdown is necessary for sustainability. Opponents worry about the impact on Canada's reputation and future prosperity, fearing that the country may lose its competitive edge. The long-term ramifications of this policy shift remain uncertain, leaving many Canadians apprehensive about the future and the nation's direction. The Canadian government points to overwhelmed essential services as justification for the immigration cuts. The recent surge in newcomers has placed immense pressure on healthcare, housing, and social safety nets. Hospitals are struggling to keep up with demand, leading to long wait times and staff shortages. Affordable housing has become increasingly scarce, particularly in major urban centres like Toronto and Vancouver. The influx of new residents has outpaced the construction of new housing units. This has resulted in skyrocketing rents and home prices, making it difficult for many Canadians to find affordable places to live. Social services, already stretched thin, are grappling with the increased demand. Wait lists for affordable housing, language classes, and employment support programs have grown longer. The government argues that a temporary reduction in immigration will provide breathing room to address these challenges and strengthen these vital services. The decision to cut immigration targets comes amidst growing public anxiety about the pace of societal change. While Canadians have traditionally held positive views towards immigration, recent polls reveal a shift in public opinion. The cost of living, particularly housing affordability, has become a major concern for many. The rising cost of living, particularly housing affordability, has become a major concern for many. Some Canadians perceive immigration as a contributing factor to the competitive housing market and increasing prices. They worry that their children will be priced out of the market and that their quality of life is declining. Furthermore, concerns about access to healthcare and the strain on social services have contributed to the unease. Long wait times for medical procedures and difficulty accessing affordable housing have fueled a sense of frustration and anxiety among some segments of the population. Critics of the government's decision argue that it unfairly blames newcomers for deeper systemic issues. They contend that Canada's housing crisis, for example, is rooted in years of inadequate policy. A lack of investment in affordable housing, coupled with speculative practices in the real estate market, has created a perfect storm. Similarly, healthcare and social services have been chronically underfunded. Years of austerity measures have left these essential services ill-equipped to handle the needs of a growing population, regardless of immigration levels. Simply reducing the number of newcomers without addressing these underlying problems is a band-aid solution, critics argue. They call for a multi-pronged approach. This includes substantial investments in affordable housing construction, increased healthcare funding, and expanded social safety nets. Addressing these systemic issues is crucial to ensuring the well-being of all Canadians, regardless of where they were born. Section 5. Breaking with a legacy of openness. The decision to significantly reduce immigration targets marks a stark departure from Canada's long-held identity. The country has long distinguished itself on the world stage by embracing newcomers and championing multiculturalism. This open-door policy has been a source of national pride and has contributed significantly to Canada's economic and social fabric. The recent announcement has left many questioning whether Canada is turning inwards. Is the country abandoning its commitment to humanitarianism and global engagement? The move has sparked a debate about the soul of the nation and its place in an increasingly interconnected world. Some fear that this decision will damage Canada's reputation as a welcoming and inclusive society. They worry that it sends a negative message to the world and could deter talented individuals from choosing Canada as their new home. Section 6. A tarnished global image. Canada has long enjoyed a positive international reputation, often viewed as a beacon of tolerance and opportunity. The country's open immigration policies have played a significant role in shaping this image. However, the recent decision to slash immigration targets could potentially tarnish Canada's global standing. Some international observers may interpret this move as a sign that Canada is closing its doors and turning its back on those seeking a better life. This perception could harm Canada's soft power, its ability to influence global affairs through persuasion and attraction, rather than coercion. Moreover, the decision could damage Canada's ability to attract skilled workers and entrepreneurs who are crucial for driving innovation and economic growth. In an increasingly competitive global market for talent, Canada's attractiveness as a destination for skilled immigrants could diminish. Section 7. Economic impacts. Are we in trouble? The economic consequences of reducing immigration targets are complex and uncertain, with various factors at play that could influence the outcome. Proponents of the move argue that a pause in immigration will allow the Canadian economy to adjust and absorb the recent influx of newcomers, giving time for infrastructure and services to catch up. They believe this will help to alleviate pressure on the labour market and prevent wage stagnation, potentially leading to better job opportunities and higher wages for existing residents. However, opponents argue that reducing immigration will ultimately harm the Canadian economy by depriving it of much-needed skilled labour, which is essential for various industries to thrive and grow. Canada faces an ageing population and a shrinking workforce, which could lead to a decline in economic productivity and increased pressure on social services. Immigration has long been a key driver of economic growth, helping to fill labour shortages and support innovation, particularly in sectors like technology and healthcare. The long-term economic impact will depend on various factors, including the government's ability to address the root causes of the challenges it seeks to address, such as housing shortages and infrastructure demands, the responsiveness of the Canadian economy to changes in immigration levels, and how quickly businesses can adapt to these changes, and the global competition for skilled workers, which remains fierce as countries vie for top talent to drive their own economic growth and innovation. Section 8. Charting the course ahead. The decision to reduce immigration targets represents a pivotal moment in Canada's history, marking a significant shift in the nation's approach to welcoming newcomers. It reflects the challenges faced by the country in managing the social and economic impacts of immigration, which have been a topic of intense debate and discussion among policymakers and citizens alike. This decision also highlights the evolving public sentiment towards newcomers, as communities across the country grapple with the realities of integration and resource allocation. The road ahead is uncertain, filled with both opportunities and potential pitfalls. The long-term consequences of this policy shift remain to be seen, and it will require careful navigation and strategic planning. It is crucial for the government to closely monitor the impacts of reduced immigration on various sectors, including the economy, social services, and Canada's global image. This involves not only tracking statistical data, but also understanding the human stories behind the numbers. Regular assessments and adjustments to the policy may be necessary to ensure its effectiveness and to respond to changing circumstances. This proactive approach will help mitigate any unintended negative consequences that may arise from the policy shift. Furthermore, it is essential for the government to engage in open and transparent dialogue with Canadians about immigration, fostering a sense of trust and collaboration. This includes addressing public concerns, dispelling myths, and providing accurate information about the role of immigration in Canadian society. By doing so, the government can help build a more informed and cohesive community. Fostering a welcoming and inclusive environment for newcomers is not just a policy goal, but a reflection of Canada's core values. The future of Canada's immigration policy hinges on finding a balance between addressing the challenges of integration and ensuring that the country remains a beacon of hope and opportunity for people around the world. Upholding the country's long-standing values of openness and compassion will be key to navigating this complex and evolving landscape.